Well, hello, friends and neighbors. John, your whiskey neighbor here, and I guess I have time for one more review this Family Day weekend, and it's time to look at some rye. I've got a couple of ryes behind me I really need to talk about, but we're going to start with Pikesville. This is from Heaven Hill, age-stated 6-year-old rye. Hope you have it. If you don't, pour any rye on the shelf and come back. This will be my thoughts on Pikesville straight rye.
3, 4.
Hey, thanks for staying with me through the break. This is Pikesville out of Heaven Hill. They make a lot of different products. For some reason, Rittenhouse is in my mind as a rye that I wish I could compare it to. But, you know, this is a straight rye. And from what I've read, it really just meets that. 51% rye, balanced corn and barley. I've read two different sources, whether the barley is 10 or 12%. I'm not sure, but corn around 39%. And rye at 51. Nice that it carries the 6 years right on the back in nice bold letters. I like an age stamp, just gives me something to think about. And it's released at a decent proof, right? 110 proof or 55%. Hopefully, as I said, you pour a little rye and we can talk about this whiskey, because I don't know enough about the history. If you do or have a cool link about it, share it. Let's get at the whiskey. This is just like my mouth started watering as soon as I nosed that. It is spicy, fruity, a little dusty. I guess that's some oak. Coming right back to spice. Spice on the nose for me is more cinnamon, a little bit of baking spice. It's not cracked pepper on the nose for me. Fruit is somewhere in between a very ripe cherry or a mealy apple. Like a red skin apple. Whew. Well, there may be a pepper, but yeah, nose, lots of cinnamon, a little bit of dusty oak, and obviously flavorful because my mouth is like, yeah, let's have some of that rye. So let's see how it tastes. Cheers. That's a pretty big sip for 55%. Lots of flavor. There's that peppering, spicing, baking, but also now I get black pepper. Cinnamons again. There's a little bit of licorice in there. What is that? Nutmeg. More fruit. And now I guess I'm playing in the early finish. I shouldn't do that. It's quite coating in the mouth. It really went all the way around nicely. Gave me that slick, slight oil, slight thicker candied caramel. So it's not a high sweet, well, there's some sweetness in there, but it's a thicker experience on the palate. Spicy. Let's see if I can get a little more herbal quality. I've got that in the past, be in my notes, but there was a sharpness just briefly there in the nose. Bold. Now oaking. Now drying. Now it's drying in the mouth a little bit. Now it's like perking, peppery. Yeah. I'm off cinnamon and more into it like what would be, I guess, a dark cinnamon or a shaved kind of a bark. Can't explain that, but it's a bit rough, not bitter, quite drying now on the end. Now a little bit of herbal note, a little bit of grass. I think that's going to build, actually, now that I'm thinking that's early finish and now second sip. And so part of that note might come the more I stay at it. Maybe that's what the licorice was up front, because the licorice is gone now for me. Third sip in, we're just into this nice cinnamon bun, spicy though, some pepper, clean dry finish that starts to fade into quite a bit of oak. I really like Pikesville rye. this Pikesville on its own is really a standout rye. I would say this is a 4.5 star rye for me, which is a bold score. I haven't given a lot of those out in a while, but and now the longer finish just came back with a pepper kick, which I like. Not an astringent kick, like a kind of just a nice spice grab. This is quality rye for me. It's a little too pricey in my market, which has kept me from buying more of this. But I really think, at some point in your journey, if you like rye, Pikesville is on the must-buy list. It's pricey. You don't have to get it now. Lots of good ryes that I can enjoy for a third the price, not even half. Like a third the price would be, Dickel and Bullet. Those kind of ryes are really almost cheap compared to this. But this is richer. There's just more finish to it. There's definitely more carry on. It's just, this is a good rye as it should be. I know, I waxed on a little bit, but it's quite good. Let's clear the palate and compare it to High West. I think High West has been doing a lot of great things with rye. This is an older bottle. This is their double rye, but it's back when it's their young, or the MGP young 2-year-old kind of expressive rye mixed with Barton's 16-year-old. This one's also finished in ex-Manhattan barrel, so it's got a lot of weird things going on. But it's 50.6%, and in the past has had a flavor profile that I've really liked. So I want to compare it to this one, which is also a fantastic rye. Maybe it's the Manhattan, but right off the nose, way more cherry. And a fruit cut note almost to it. Could be in contrast. I almost got a chocolate cherry on that one. More spice, more cinnamon. More maraschino cherry now. Let's try it on the palate. Cheers. This is a nice thing to pour for a holiday. That is a little cleaner. It's a little gentler in the palate. Far more fruit. Now the spicing comes. Actually, I'm getting a slight bitterness just in this moment, which I haven't noted before, but I'm getting a little bitterness today. Come back to the Pikesville. Cooked caramel. Burnt caramel. More pepper, bright cinnamon, more oak on the finish. I picked this as my rye of last year. I really do enjoy it. Just today, this Pikesville has won my heart. Wow, that's high praise. Well, you guys, if you're in Canada, I really hope you've had a great family day. I have reconnected with my family. We've made some meals together. We've started a movie series. I think we're going to finish it tonight. I hope so. But it is important to take time, if you have the time or if you are close to your family, to connect with it. I know this has been definitely a good long weekend for me, and I wish the same for you. Thanks for joining me. And if you are a rye lover and you have yet to try Pikesville, it definitely deserves a spot in your list. You guys have a great week.